Preparing healthy meals can be a breeze once you've got the right tools and techniques down. We'll be discussing those techniques right now, and then look at 2 different recipes to see how we can apply what we've learned to make those recipes healthier. So let's get started. When you're preparing a meal involving meat or poultry, you want to remove all visible fat and skin before you begin. This will significantly reduce the saturated fat content of your meals. Some of the leanest cooking methods include baking, broiling, roasting, steaming, and grilling, because they do not add fat as part of the cooking process. A good method for removing excess salt on canned beans or vegetables is to place them in a strainer and run them under cool water before use. This helps remove some of the salty solution that they've been stored in. Now, a great way to healthify a recipe is to make substitutions. Substitutions are a way of replacing less healthy ingredients with more healthy ingredients while still maintaining the delicious flavor of the food. We're going to go over some of the more common substitutions right now. One of the greatest detriments to healthy cooking is butter. Let's look at a few ways to switch out that butter and still end up with a great tasting product. In cooking or baking, butter can be substituted for by a trans fat-free vegetable oil spread or cooking sprays. Just a few sprays to cover the pan is all you need when sautéing meat or vegetables. Canola and olive oils are better fats for stir-frying and cooking because they contain monounsaturated fatty acids, which may help lower your bad cholesterol and raise your good cholesterol. When baking, cooking sprays can be used in place of shortening to grease pans and prevent food from sticking. Or try replacing half the fat in a recipe with natural unsweetened applesauce or other fruit purees. If you don't want to puree foods yourself, you can buy baby foods instead. Baby food will not have any added sugar or salt. Cream may be replaced with either fat-free half and half or evaporated skim milk. And instead of cream cheese, you can use low-fat cottage cheese that has been pureed until a smooth consistency. For whole eggs, you can use either an egg substitute or egg whites to reduce fat and cholesterol. 2 egg whites or 1/4 of a cup of egg substitute is equal to 1 whole egg. Another way to reduce fat is to try vegetarian meat substitutes in mixed dishes such as chilies or casseroles. You could also use beans or lentils for another meatless option. When baking, you can replace up to half the amount of all-purpose flour with whole wheat flour. Ground flaxseed may also be added in place of flour up to 1/4 of a cup. Other ways to incorporate whole grain products include switching to whole grain pastas and brown rice. For sugar, in most recipes, the sugar can simply be cut in half without any adverse effects to the final product. Or try switching to a non-calorie sweetener such as Splenda. Now we know that Splenda does not have all the same properties as sugar, so you should only substitute it to up to half the sugar in a recipe, or find recipes that were specially developed for that product, such as the Splenda cookbook. When you remove fat, you remove flavor, so we need to find some way to add that flavor back in without adding fat or calories. One way is to increase spices and double or triple the amount of flavor extracts, such as almond or vanilla in a recipe. Also, adding high-flavored ingredients, such as mustard, vinegar, garlic, ginger, or chili peppers will help as well. Try adding lemon, lime, or orange zests to dishes to heighten the flavor. And if you're baking, cloves, allspice, nutmeg, or cinnamon would be good spices to increase. Let's take a look at 2 different recipes and see how they've been modified to make them healthier. Both of these recipes were taken from the website www.eatbetteramerica.com. The first is a creamy chicken enchilada. Here is the original ingredients list. Now here are the substitutions that Eat Better America has made to reduce the fat and sodium. Butter was replaced with olive oil, chicken broth was changed to a low-sodium variety, the sour cream and cheese were switched out for reduced fat options, and corn and chilies were added for extra fiber and vitamins. I would suggest that you could also take this recipe one step farther by using whole wheat tortillas instead of corn or flour. The next recipe is a yummy blueberry scone dessert. Here's the original ingredients list for this one. And now, the Eat Better America modifications. They broke up 2½ cups flour into a combination of ground flaxseed, all-purpose flour, and rolled oats. The sugar and butter were simply reduced and not replaced with anything. The buttermilk was changed to plain yogurt mixed with 1 egg white, and another place in the recipe, buttermilk was exchanged for fat-free milk. If you wanted to take this recipe one step farther, you could split up the remaining flour into half all-purpose flour and half whole wheat flour. You could also use Splenda for half the sugar value to reduce the sugar content even more. Cooking and baking can be really fun experiments. If something doesn't turn out just the way you'd like it, just make some modifications and try again. The process is worth it to create meals that you feel confident eating yourself and serving to others.